Yo, what's up? This is your boy, Chris J. Alex. You are listening to Hawaii's #1 podcast, the Kasanova. Get at your boy.
All right, and welcome everyone to another episode of Hawaii's #1 podcast, the #1 podcast in the state of Hawaii, the Kasanova Podcast. I'm your host, Mikhail Kasanova, and I'm coming at you today with another phenomenal episode. It is truly an amazing honor to have this man on my podcast because, man, this is going to be phenomenal. And the person that's going to be here, you guys are already know him. This is Chris J. Alex. He's the voice of Panthro in the new Thundercats Roar series, as well as being in various chart-topping games from Xenoblade Chronicles X, XCOM 2, Marvel's Spider-Man, Battlefront 2, Days Gone, Call of Duty 4, Kingdom Hearts 3, as well as the recently released Resident Evil 2. This man has done everything from acting to voice acting to martial arts to motion capture, you name it, this man has done it. And he's also in a couple upcoming movies such as City of Lies and Shankar's Gods and Secrets. And he was also in Captain America Civil War as well as Teen Wolf. So if you guys are ready to do it, I'm ready to do it. Let's go ahead and welcome Chris J. Alex onto the show. All right, and welcome everyone to another episode of Hawaii's #1 rated podcast, #1 listen to podcast, the Mikhail Kasanova Podcast. I'm your host, Mikhail Kasanova, and I have with me the one, the only Chris J. Alex. Man, bring the
That's
hype.
right. First of all, it's Jay.
Hey,
it's all good.
Hey, I'm around so many people from Japan out here. They say Jai, so my bad.
No, it's all good. I'm messing with you, man. So it's Jay, and I'm going to let y'all know, first of all, this is going to be the most streamed episode. I'm on my Tekashi 6ix9ine. Guarantee you, son. This is going to be the #1 streamed episode. Y'all better get ready. What's up? Yeah, how y'all doing? What's going on? I'm super hyper because it's somewhat earlier here in LA, I think. Are we before or after you?
You guys are after us because I think I'm 2 hours behind you. It's 5:09 here.
Okay, so you guys are stuck in traffic. If you're listening to the podcast, I assume we're not streaming live, but whenever you're hearing this, you're probably in traffic during the time of this recording. Yes?
Probably.
You wanted to ask brother some questions, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I damn sure got answered. Let's go. What's that?
Hey, but you're supposed to tell people where they can find you, some of the stuff you're working on, and why we need to get you out here to Hawaii.
Okay, so you can find me creasing milk cartons in the Himalayas, and my Instagram. I am currently banned from the internet, but I mean, if I guess you type in my name, you can stalk me anywhere. So that's Chris J. Alex, that's J.I. But yeah, I mean, you can kind of see what I'm doing right now. But I ain't doing nothing. I was supposed to go to India. I ain't going there. Had a movie, fell through. It's all good. So I'm sitting here playing Nintendo, and watching Man vs. Wild. So that's what I'm doing. Whole lot of nothing. But I made it on the podcast. So that's what's up.
Yeah, we've been talking for what, 2 weeks now? 2-3 weeks, I think.
3 weeks. Yeah. Because his schedule's so busy, I literally had to track him down and be like, hey, man, remember me? We're doing a thing. And he was like, yeah, a little later. But, yeah, I'm glad we were able to work that out, with you and your busy schedule and me and my I was trying to be Punch-Out.
Hey, I'm out here working at the hospital. I'm trying to save lives.
That's what's up. Save lives. That's what's up.
Well, actually.
But, yeah, I'm working on Thundercats right now. If you have Call of Duty, I'm screaming in your ear all the time.
What you playing on? What? I got it on PC.
I'm one of the main announcers in Call of Duty. So the Black Ops 4.
Yeah, but you play it, right?
I've never played a single Call of Duty. You know what? it's funny because my brother is a competitive player, but I have never played. This was going to be my gateway in, so I haven't even heard of the game yet. But everyone's calling me. They're like, "Hey, man, did you do this?" And I'm like, "Wow, okay, I guess you might have heard it." So I am somewhere. I'm probably telling you to do stuff like pick up packages and all that good stuff. So that is me yelling at you. Listen to the voice if you want to stay alive, son.
This is actually my first Black Ops game because I haven't really played a Call of Duty since. Damn, it's been 10 years. Wow.
10 years.
I haven't. Yeah. What was the last one that came out? The Modern Warfare. I haven't played since then.
I'm the wrong one to ask, sir. But I will take your word for it. And I'm pretty sure Troy Baker and Nolan North's in all of them. So, yeah, there you go.
But yeah.
Speaking of which, you couldn't get Troy Baker, you couldn't get Nolan North, so you just settled with me. Is that what that is?
Man, I'm not settling. Well, I haven't even reached out to them.
I'm joking. See, what you do is after you got me, they're like, "Oh man, CJ did it." Then now you can get everyone. The floodgates are open. See what I did there? Open the floodgates.
Man. Oh man, give us a brief background on yourself, man. Like, how'd you get into the industry? What are some of the things you're interested in? I know you come from a music background.
Yeah. So I started off in music. Actually, the brother back there who's asleep on the couch, knocked out right now. That's actually one of my producing partners and my homie. He's actually really big in music. But I started out in music. Moved to New York for like a production deal. I was gonna, be this real big, heavy producer, that didn't quite work out the way I wanted to. Moved back to Michigan, did the independent thing. Big fish in a small pond. I decided, okay, I got to go to either New York or LA. I was tired of winter, so LA it was. I came out here, and the first thing I ever did was Dan Southworth actually gave me my first job ever as a stuntman. And if you don't know who Dan Southworth is, but he plays Virgil, Right, Quantum Ranger, really, really talented dude, and he's kind of, till this day, he's like my senpai. I look up to him, but he gave me my first job in the industry, and then one thing led to another. Ruben gave me my first motion capture job, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, so Ruben got me into the business that way. I wanted to, I remember going to Anime Expo. It's like this big, it's like a big trade show out here for like anime. And I had like, a little CD, my voice reel on it, and I was handing them out. And then Ruben recognized me from the gym because everybody used to work out at this gym. Like we would all like flip around and do like martial arts and stuff. And, and that's kind of where we met each other. And then he was like, "Yo, CJ, you got one of those CDs? Give it to me." And then he just hands it over to Mary Elizabeth McLean. And I'm just like, oh. And then that week, I got a call from Chris Zimmerman to go do some, it's an audition for motion capture. And I ended up getting it. And that was my first thing ever I did for a motion capture, which was Tomb Raider Underworld. So that's kind of how I got started.
Man, you were the right guy in the right time at the right place.
Oh, no. See, I put my face in front of the people. That's what you got to do. I just did not know Ruben and Dan rode like that. I had no idea that they were, that heavy into the game. I just knew that, okay, this is what I want to do. This is probably the place where people work out. I'm going to go there. I'm going to get it there. And I just had all these things ready. So that way, when there was an opportunity, I was ready to, I was vigilant and able to capitalize on it. But if you have a dream, prepare for it and go for it, because I seriously feel that, your energy is what is reflected to you. So that's when you say, I'm surprised when I ask people, they come on the podcast, no, bro, like you get the work that you put out. So, put that energy out there. You can get whoever you want, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
First of all, you're only a guy in Hawaii right now, is doing this. So
true.
You have a huge edge, but just you'd be surprised that, I like to say, some people say the worst I can say is no. I like to say is they can't say yes unless you ask.
Good point. Man, I like.
And I ask for a lot.
I like the fact that you brought up like energy and what you put out, because I'm a big believer in that. I know I'm contradicting myself by thinking people are gonna say no, but and I had this conversation earlier with Gerald C. Rivers. We were talking about energy because he's really big in that too, and we were talking about like what you put out is what you get back. It's equivalent exchanging them in a way, but you're definitely right about that.
Yeah, it's the law of reciprocity, man. These are universal laws, man, that are they exist, brother. They are a thing.
Very true.
Very true.
So
but
that's how.
Oh, good.
I said that. Yeah, but that's how I got started. They gave me my first job. Ruben gave me my first job in motion capture. I think my first original animation I got. I was reaching out on MySpace back when that was a thing, and I sent my demos. Yeah, no, that's crazy, right?
You taking me back?
Hey, I took you back from MySpace and Black Planet and all that good stuff.
Yes, sir. These young Thundercats these days don't know nothing about that.
But my first live animation was, original animation was the Boondocks. I reached out to Carl Jones, and he had actually came over to my crib, and we cooked him some food. I handled furniture. He sat on my floor, real cool dude. And long story short, we ended up working on the Boondocks. So that's how I got my start on the original animation.
Man, that's crazy.
Isn't it though?
It is.
I can tell you, everybody got to share this story. You can't get this anywhere else. You got to come to this podcast and share it. Get the good stuff.
Oh man. So I gotta ask you, since you're into music, I worked in the industry before, and it's crazy. But I want to ask you, like, what's your favorite part about being in the music industry, or trying to like what type of genre of music is your favorite? I know it's two completely separate questions.
Let's go. Well, I'll answer you both. See, my thing is, I have a philosophy. I'm kind of like, how Bruce Lee is like, there's no different styles. You have to have different arms and legs. I feel like, there really aren't genres per se. To me, it's like, melody is king. So unless you're using a whole different set of notes, really there is no genre of music in my book, but it's just like, okay, I go by song basis. Do I dig the concept? Do I dig the melody? Do I dig, the journey? And then to answer your other question, I never really made money in music. Like, I made probably $0. The only money that I made was, out the trunk going independent. But, had no deal, never had that. I went out to New York. I went under this record label. That situation ended up not being right for me. But I never really made money in music. The guy behind me, he made a lot of money. And we're right now, we're getting ready to do some things, musically together and venture onto that, because my connects are more film and TV. He's more music. So now we kind of flip-flopping on it. So that's what we're going to do. So, if you're interested in that, make sure y'all follow me on the socials, which is just my name. You can find me on everything. But that's kind of what's on the horizon. But if that answers your question, I feel like music is music, and genre really doesn't matter. It's more on this song by song basis. Do I like this song? Am I into it? Do I connect with it?
I fully agree with you on that, man. And people, if you're watching, you're listening, the links to Chris's social media will be down in the description below. So make sure you go and stalk him on all of it. Don't stalk him like.
Y'all come with it. I'm with the energy. Come with. Go. If you want to stop me. It's all good. You can get blocked, but for the most part, I'm cool. I try to answer questions. And I really dig my community, man. So if you want to get at me, you can. Like I said, I make it very easy to just be a part of the community. So,
yeah, I feel you on that, man. So I'm guessing we're gonna see you in Kingdom Hearts 3, right?
I have no idea. Where'd you hear that from? No comment.
I know Utada Hikaru did that crossover with Skrillex for that theme song, so we know you. We know you working with her.
I would love to work with Utada. That's new information to me. If y'all know her information, please tell her to get a contact with me. But yeah, I've never worked with Utada. I like her music.
She will be on this podcast.
Oh, she will?
Yes.
That's what's up.
I announced it yesterday. That was the thing that blew my mind. Like when I put out there, like, hey, you know, I reached out to her on Twitter, and then within minutes she hit me in the DM. I'm like,
oh, that's what's up. You better make sure you ain't get catfished. This is Utah.
Right?
Utah high car. What? I done got the name. Yeah, you better double check. But yo, congrats. That's big, man.
Thank you.
She ain't gonna do my numbers. But you know, congrats.
Okay, but yeah, shout out to her, man. She was actually my gateway into J-pop. Her and believe it or not, Boa, B-O-A, the Korean artist, they were like my gateway into J-pop. Do you listen to J-pop?
You listen to her.
You know, I'm about to say, you know who Utada is. You gotta listen to J-pop.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, I'm a little old school mind, but I listen to all that. But yeah, like the first like dope record that I heard a long time ago was that got me in it. I love the Inflow remix they did of Final Distance. Mm-hmm. If you can find that record, just the way they chopped it was dope. And then Boa's song, I think it's Kimochi Suto Water or something like that. But yeah, those two tracks, I was like, oh wow, they have some songs that I would actually dig. And Kingdom Hearts was dope too. I just didn't know that it was J-pop because I didn't know that was a thing. That was back when like PlayStation 2 first came out. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I played the Mickey Mouse game, which I've never played yet still. Never played it. And I got the system for it. I actually didn't get the system. I won the system in Panama City at a rap battle. It's so weird. I wanted a PS2. Mm-hmm. I didn't get one, but I ended up winning one the year they came out. And that's kind of like the year 50 Cent like blew up.
Yeah.
I ended up winning one, but I never played that. But I did play the heck out of Dragon Ball Budokai. That was my game. That was I played so much of that.
Man, which did you like the most? Like between Budokai 1 through 3, I love 2.
I think the second one was the second one. It was dope when you had like the fusion and it was just the second one was a really really fun game. Like I played a lot of that. Yeah, shout out to Molly Toomer. She got me Budokai. It was either my birthday or Christmas, but yeah, shout out to her. Yeah, I played that game a lot. Yeah.
Man, I bet the younger listeners who probably like, you know what's funny is a lot of my listeners were like, they're like 19, 20, and I'm thinking, damn, these kids were born in like 99, 2000. That doesn't even seem like that long ago for me.
It doesn't. I remember what I was doing. Like, yeah. I still remember King of Fighter 96. Like, what? I still remember that game. That was my joint. Yeah. It's like, wow. Man. Yeah, you came up in the Nintendo 64 era. That's crazy.
Man, it's something. Like, and it's funny because like some of the people that I've talked to, like, that are into fighting games. So I play a lot of fighting games competitively. And they're like, man, you know what? My favorite fighting game is Street Fighter 4. And I'm like, oh, yeah, you know, that's cool. And then, like, what's yours? I'm like,
Capcom vs. SK2?
That's one of them. But one of my favorites is actually World Heroes Perfect.
World Hero? Oh, you a Neo Geo guy.
Yes.
Okay.
See? Wait.
I never got into World Perfect. Oh, wait, you got... Oh, wait, there you go. There you go. I had... I like to play a lot of the import games. If you had like Sega Saturn, that was like the first time that you could play the Neo Geo games. You had to like switch the carton in the back and you play the imports. Man, that was like the greatest system ever. Between that and Samurai Showdown 4, we're like, man, that was just a beautiful game. I remember having that. But yeah, I think to this day, man, Capcom vs. SNK 2 is probably my favorite.
And I don't understand why they have not made 3, because there's so much money for both of them if they do that.
I don't know. I don't know. I saw there was like a Mugen fan version of it. That was kind of cool.
It's really good. It's really good.
Yeah, that was my
that was. I mean, I love 2D fighters, man. I love like straight up 2D boys. That was my thing.
What do you play nowadays?
Oh my gosh, I don't. You know what? It's hard. I don't play much, just because I have a lot on my plate right now. Like I'm trying to like learn some languages and be productive, and you know, make my own films, as well as like, you know, there's so much upkeep that you have to do just when you're, you know, you're working. You know, as an actor, I'm trying not to say that. You know, I'm trying to be on that, but yeah, it's difficult because. You know, especially with TV, it's like you gotta watch a lot of TV, you gotta watch a lot of movies, and it's just like in this day and age with so much coming out, they're not just competing for your time for like everything that's coming out, but you essentially have a back catalog of everything that's ever been that's on demand. So it's just like, yo, how do if I watch something like. Yeah, it's crazy, but I haven't played as much. I play. I think the last thing I tried to play, I wanted to get into a lot, I just didn't have the time. Was that new Dragon Ball 2D boy? That thing, that Z Fighter. Yeah, that thing was dope. I just never got a chance to play it. I like Street Fighter 4 Ultra a little bit. That was kind of me, and then I also liked. I'm biased. I loved Killer Instinct. I've always have. It's a fun game. I wish they had a story mode for season 3. That's all right. They didn't give me that, but yeah, it's still a very, very fun game.
Why don't you tell people, man? You're Tusk.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, all right. So I
stop being bashful.
I voiced Tusk, but before I ever got that gig, I loved Killer Instinct. Like back in the day, like I was a Saberwolf player, and when 2 came out, I played Maya, and I was also a Tusk player too. But it's weird. But when I got that audition, I was just like, man, I don't ask for much, but I really, really want this character. And I remember I got it. I was on the set of like some Will.i.am, and it was like a Will.i.am video, and this girl's from 21 something. It was like a J-pop group, but her and Will.i.am was doing this thing. But as I remember getting the call, and was like, yes, I wanted that, and I got it, and I had to go in and pretend like I didn't know what the game was, because I didn't want to seem like a fan, you know. So it's like, well, this game, you know, this the backstory, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I totally don't know that. Let's go. And at the end of the session, I was like, all right, guys, I gotta be honest. Like, I'm a big fan of this franchise, and I've played this game since 1994 in the arcade. So yeah, I always wanted to be in a fighting game, and I always wanted a dope character, and I was like, okay, we got that one. We can move on. We can move on being happy with our lives.
I mean, it's really awesome because like you've had the opportunity to be in like various, you know, chart-topping games from like Xenoblade Chronicles X, you know, Killer Instinct, XCOM 2, Marvel's Spider-Man, Battlefront 2, Days Gone, Call of Duty, Black Ops 4, and many, many more. Like, how does that feel knowing that you've worked on so many amazing projects?
You know what? I played one of them. So I played one of them. It's really cool. It's really cool just being able to do it. I mean, I wish, and sometimes those games are so massive, you don't really know where you are in there. So it's just kind of like, you know, you kind of just enjoy the game as a whole. But yeah, I mean, you know, anytime you get to act in anything, you know, let alone something that ends up in millions of people's, you know, living room, is amazing. And yeah, it's still like it's hard to think about, because, you know, I'm a little less connected than everything, because, you know, I don't watch as much TV, and I kind of only see what I choose to see, like on internet, you know, like on YouTube or something like that. So sometimes you kind of.
You're the same as me. I do that too.
yeah, you kind of miss the scope of it. But every now and then I get a call or I'll get a text or somebody will inbox me like, wow, that was really cool. And it's still like mind blowing. It's still mind blowing after all these years.
Man, that's amazing. You know, and I'm not sure how much you can. I don't know how much you can talk about some of the stuff that you're already credited for. A lot of the stuff that's coming out, I want to say next year, like Days Gone and The Last of Us Part 2. But I know you can't talk much about it.
No idea about any what? You see, I got in trouble with Spider-Man, man. I got in trouble with that shit by accident. Yeah, I have no idea about what that would do. Huh? I don't know how to heard about it. But you know, if they announce something and I happen to be in it, that is all news to me.
Okay.
Yes.
We will sidestep that question.
I said, boom, that's called a pivot, right? It's that pivot right there. That's a pivot.
Oh man, you know, and you know, you're in the upcoming City of Lies movie, and you're also in Andy Shankar's Gods and Secrets. You were in Captain America's Civil War, and also like Teen Wolf. Like, what is it like being in so many like movies and shows?
You know what? It's addictive. It's addictive. You're like, oh man, I see me, and then it's just like, and you get that like itch, like, oh, I want some more of that. You give me more. And, you know, like, and it's just like, you can lose yourself very quickly when you see yourself, because you're like, it's sometimes a lot of actors, what they'll do is like, you know, they'll be in something, and why they're actively doing it, because we never know where our next gig is going to be. It can be difficult to support yourself. So you'll be on something, you'll be working, and you'll be like, oh man, after this wraps, what's next? I'm not going to work. And then it's like, you gotta take time to stop yourself and be present and be like, yo, I'm doing this. Like, I am here. Let's hope they don't cut me out so everyone else did. but yeah, it's really, really cool, and it's really addictive. And you know, yeah, just you want more. You want more. It's like you know, somebody who you've been after for a long time, you know, and they show you a little bit of attention. Like, say you like, oh, it's the cute girl you always like, you know, wanted to say hi to, and all of a sudden she waves. You're like, you waving at me? Oh, you waving at me? And you know, you wave even harder. You're like, oh yeah, you know, if I get the gym work out a little bit, maybe she'll wave a little more. You know, maybe I'll get a hug one day. You know, so it's like it's that mistress that you are always courting, and it's just it's addictive, bro, and it's very gratifying when other people can see you and things, because it's almost like confirmation. But the work is actually before you ever make it on screen, you know. Yeah.
All right, and you know, you've done motion capture as well as stunt work. Like, what is that like?
Stunt work? Oh, it depends on the gig. Sometimes it can be scary. You know, it just depends. Stunt work it can be very, very fun too. I mean, I love doing fight scenes and stuff like that. And you know, there's a group of guys like, you know, you can tell a good fight guy, because you know, you kind of just, it's like, you know, if you were to learn Japanese, and then you ran into somebody else and they spoke a little Japanese, like, oh, wait, I'm part of the club. Yeah, you know the language, you know the moves and stuff. So it's very, very cool. It depends on the production. You know, if you're on a production, they take care of you, they respect you, you know, and, you know, you're professional at all times. You go there, you do your job, but it's a collective effort. So, you know, every experience relies upon, you know, kind of, you know, how everyone works cohesively, because it's a big, big effort. Sometimes have been more gratifying than others, and other times it's been like, okay, let's skip through this. This is one of those. But you know, but ultimately, the reward is everyone coming together and completing something, you know, and getting something done, moving forward to one vision. So the teamwork aspect never goes away. So that's really cool. And sometimes it's sad when you wrap a movie or you wrap a project and it's like, oh, okay, well, I'm not going to see them. for a while because but yeah, it just depends on the product. But for the most part, it's incredibly hard work, but it's extremely gratifying.
Awesome. What is it like? What is the process of like getting trained to do like motion capture?
It's an Apple. It's an Apple Pencil. And it's bending. All right, sorry. What you said something about the wood now?
What is the process of see, it made me lose my train of thought. What is the process?
Let's keep going down this path.
I gotta get you. I definitely gotta get you back on the show again, dude. I love your energy.
Bacon.
Oh man, what's the process of like if the audience want to get into like becoming like an actor, or voice actor, or if they want to get into like stunt work or motion capture? What is the process of training? Or what would you suggest, like the route? Like, I know there's no one single route, but
well, I mean, respectively, I mean, you're talking to the right guy because I've done them all. All of these routes, I'm looking at someone text me. How unprofessional! Turn your phone, Jack. Sorry about that. Every last one of them, they have a different route. So if you wanted to be a stunt person or a stunt professional. My thing would be, okay, learn how to act, learn reactions, go train with other stunt people. It's very community based, and it's, working. You have to be where there's work and people who are around that, and you got to get around people that are really good, and you got to train hard and be a team worker. That's part of it. You got to be tough. You got to, take good reactions and train even when you don't feel like training. So that's that thing. And that's kind of the same thing with the voiceover. You kind of got to be where there's work and, understand scripts, understand stories, know how to turn things, be funny, be different characters, work out with different people and, in that business. So it all depends on what you want. But I will say the thing that a lot of people didn't have before that is a huge advantage that we have now is, and I'll take from Gary Vee, is Google. You can Google anything and you can figure out whatever you want to do. So if there's something that you want to do, 9 times out of 10 you're going to figure out how to do it. And it's not rocket science. It's preparation meets mind-numbing work meets persistence. You're going to get something.
Yeah.
You are just going to get something. If you give it everything you have, you're going to get something. It's not rocket science, but it's the not knowing when. That's the hard part. A lot of people they quit before they get the breakthrough. So yeah, but it's not rocket science. It's not rocket science. And a lot of people, they'll DM me and it's like, yo, well, how do I get into this? And the sad part about it is 90% of the time, if you have to ask me and you need me to answer the question, it's probably not for you. Because information is so readily available. If you have the desire to become that thing, you're going to figure that out.
Yeah.
Nothing is going to keep you from getting the information because ultimately it's just work and due diligence, and that wins you everything over time. It's just work and due diligence. So most of the time when people DM me, what they're really saying is, hey, I want to talk funny and make voices for a whole bunch of money. I don't want to have to work hard for it. How do I do that? That job does not exist. But legitimately, if I want to answer your question, is whatever route you want to go to, get information, get educated, go for it, and just work your tail off and keep knocking on doors. You will get a breakthrough. Don't stop before you break. That's the main thing. Do not stop before you break through.
True.
Yep.
All right, and also wanted to ask, like, what TV shows or movies or even video games like influenced you during like your childhood or even in your early career that helped you hone your craft?
That helped me hone. Okay, well, I guess you know what? I think the game that. Well, it's two things because I mean, And until recently, I never saw a video game that made me kind of want to get into business. What kind of made me want to get into business was anime.
Mm-hmm.
But through wanting to get into anime, I was presented with an opportunity to work on video games because it kind of goes around circles. When I first worked on Resident Evil and something like that, I didn't realize how far the technology had came. Like it had been a while since I'd played, and then when I was watching like the graphics on set, I was like, "What? This you play like you can walk that guy around?" And I was like, first of all, Chris Redfield is yoked. He has been in the gym. Second of all, I'm like, I couldn't believe. I was just kind of blown away, and then just seeing like, because that's when Xbox 360 like first kind of like really took off. I was just like, what? Yeah. So I mean, after seeing that definitely inspired me to. So I guess that would be the gateway where I was like, oh, I want to do more of this. Was actually after already being in it, but what made me want to voice act was definitely anime. Like, oh man, my dad, he sit down and made me watch Yu Yu Hakusho, Rurouni Kenshin, and Dragon Ball Z back when Toonami was on. When I was in high school, dated myself. I don't care, still popping. But
I think that means we're around the same age then. I think we are.
Yeah, well, it's on. It's on IMDb. It's fine. I'm very comfortable. My age is cool. Yeah, my dad, he was like, yeah, sit down and watch this, son. I'm like, what you doing? Watching a cartoon. Oh man, watch. He's like, yeah, keep talking. Watch this. And I was like, oh. And he was like, yeah, look at you. Already. So yeah, that was like my gateway. It's like, Dragon Ball and Rurouni Kenshin. And yeah, Yu Yu Hakusho, that was like that, yeah. And I was like, oh, I want to do that. That's cool. And then fast forward, now I'm kind of in it. Just cool.
Awesome. And one of the other questions I wanted to ask, because you also have done some work with like directing and doing cinematography. Like, what is that like?
Yeah. You know what? It's funny. I tell my friends all the time, like we are in the era of hyphens. Everyone, kind of does everything on somewhat, and I feel like the more that you can do, the more valuable you become. The reason why I got into shooting and doing cinematography and stuff like that is because I just got tired of being in crappy movies. I would when I first got here, I would do a whole bunch of student films. I never got the footage or something like that, or I'd be in something and I would never see myself. I was like, how do I control the quality? So I hooked up with my friend Wayne Douglas, who actually is like, he's amazing right now. He's shot with Zack Snyder and a whole bunch of other stuff. Like, he's a big deal.
Wow.
Now, yeah, like but we would just shoot stuff together, and I was terrified. I was like, hey, dude, this is what I want. This is what I want. And then I remember the day he put the camera in my hand. And he was like, shoot, and I'm like, oh, no, I don't want to do that. Oh, my goodness. The universe is going to collide. I can't touch the camera. That thing is foreign. And he's like, just shoot. And then from that moment forward, when we would just learn how to shoot, we would learn composition. And, we didn't go to school for it, but, we just kind of saw the shots that we liked. And then, when I moved to a DSLR, I started understanding lenses and focus and then aperture and shutter speed. And then, how I wanted the light to look and then how it reacts to different, and it's just kind of like it built upon itself. And what it did was it just made me a better actor. It just made me a better actor technically, because I'm like, okay, now since I've edited thousands of hours of myself, I know if a cut's going to work on that. I know before I make my acting choice, like, okay, well, I'm on an 85. Okay, so this close, all of this is going to play. If I'm on a big wide angle, I'm just gonna do things differently. And I remember working on I did a movie with Bill Nye. We did Jack the Giant Slayer. Well, it's called Jack the Giant. It was Jack the Giant Killer, but it was like it was a Warner Brothers thing that blanking on the name right now. That Bryan Singer directed.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember listening to Bill Nye talking. Now, Bill Nye, he played Davy Jones and stuff. Like, he's a phenomenal actor. Like Pirate Radio, he's phenomenal. He was like, and acting in 3D is different than just in 2D. He was like, because mainly it was just you would play on this plane, but now when I do this, it's a different thing. When I move forward, I'm more threatening. When I move back, I'm relieving tension. So there's just all these things that made us cognizant of just things when you're acting. But I think the smartest actors technically are the ones that can shoot and edit and all that other stuff, because they look at it frame by frame. They understand composition.
Awesome. I'm down to my last couple questions, and one of the things I want to ask is, like, what is it like to...
I'm single. Oh, get my deal. Yeah.
Ladies, he's single. Go ahead and stalk him on Instagram and social media.
I'm not a creep, no.
No, they can stalk you.
That's all good. Well, I'm sorry, what was your question?
I was going to ask you, like, what is it like to not only work with but train with, like, people like Daniel Southworth and Ruben Langdon and Johnny Young Bosch? Like, dude, that's the dream.
You know what? Guess what?
What?
It's as cool as you think it is. It's as cool as you think it is, because not only am I like a fan of these people, but it's just like they're all really good. Like, yeah, really good. Like Ruben, he used to live in Sammo Hung's backyard. Like he like fought with Jackie Chan. Like,
what?
He's the real, like, yeah. They're all really high level, and it's just like it's humbling as I don't know what, because I'm like, well, you think you know what you're doing, and then they do some others. I'm like, oh, this is what real martial arts are like. I just pretend. Hey, that's cool. But there's another thing. I've been training at this place called 8711, and I'm sure you've heard about that. But the director of John Wick 1, 2, and 3 just teaches judo. Now, mainly he's doing it for his stunt team, and I'm doing the best that I can. But all those guys are amazing. But I'm just like, every day I'm looking like, wow, the director of John Wick is just teaching me how to throw people. And then he's even demonstrated on me, and I was like, oh, so cool. But it's just like, he'll do stuff from the movie, which is like, it's as you think it is. Because I'm a fan for it's important, because it's so really hard to work in this town. So, if you can sustain a career, you have to be thankful, and you have to be cognizant of the people who are making. You gotta be a fan, because it's like, otherwise you get jaded. It's so cool to just know these people. So yeah, my question is, it's as cool as you think it is. Yeah, super grateful for that. And they don't charge.
What?
They don't charge. People charge money. How awesome is that? Like, yeah, they don't charge money. At least not me. I don't want to blow nobody's spot up like me. And somebody watching like, hey, he charges me. No. So yeah, it's as cool as you think it would be. And then when you see them on, here's what it's done. It's kind of ruined action movies for me, because I know all the guys. So it's like prime example, like when I'm watching Captain America and I see the guys in the elevator, I'm like, oh, there's Phil, there's Chris, they're about to fight. Like, you see it coming now. You see the guy in the backyard. I'm like, Brian, that's Brian in the back. Oh, they're about to fight. So it kind of, you see it coming, but it's kind of cool, because it's like, oh, wow.
Oh, man.
I'm very long-winded with my answers. It's going to be very hard to edit. I'm working on that. But this is a podcast, right? I can get the long voice. I can get the long answer.
Hey, I mean, organic conversations, man. Anything goes.
It's entertainment. This is the world we live in. How awesome is this? From your bedroom and from me watching, Man vs. Wild, we can literally entertain the masses. And then you talk to Utada Yukaru.
Yep.
That's crazy, right?
Yes, sir.
World we live in.
It's truly amazing. I mean, you look at like how things have changed, like not only over the last 10 years, but I mean, last 15 years. I remember back when we had like flip phones and like big old brick for laptops, and now we got phones that are basically more powerful than that ever was. It's like
crazy.
It is.
It's crazy. We got Apple pencils and everything. I lost my Apple pencil. I was gonna do something. Oh, let's see what happens. Technology, smart toasters and all that good stuff.
Right.
But it's all gonna end one way. You know, it's all gonna end with all of our stuff taking us over.
Yeah.
The singularity is coming, people.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
Yes. And I don't think people really realize that how that is going to be like an end result, because you got stuff like, I don't know if you saw that thing recently that Google did a demonstration where it learns and it can speak and use the ums and the uhs, like it perfectly emulates a human to the T. And they had to do a live demonstration and call a restaurant. The restaurant didn't even know.
Yeah, that's kind of stuff scary. If you want to be scared, just listen to Elon Musk talk about technology.
Yep.
Yeah.
You saw the episode where he talked to Joe Rogan about it?
Oh man, I love Joe Rogan's podcast. Shout out to Joe Rogan. He's an interesting dude. Yeah. But yeah, I'm just like, because if you think about it, that learning curve just kind of does like this, and it's like, yeah, and then literally, and in 10 days, we'll have known everything that we've done and run like 10 billion simulations or something crazy. But yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's definitely something.
The computer's going to eat you.
But so I also wanted to ask you, like, what has been like your favorite character to act or voice act or to do motion capture or stunt work for?
Oh man, well, I can't play favorites. They're all like children. I love them. But I will say, obviously, Panthro is just a dream because I grew up watching Thundercats. AC/DC was great. Lord Burroughs was, oh my gosh, because I loved One Punch Man before I even ever got that gig. I saw it all in Japanese, and that was kind of like, I think he's my screensaver right now. Yeah, and he's got a pop. He's got a pop. Yeah, he got a pop that. But Tusk was amazing. They're all great, but But yeah, they're all great for different reasons, and I know that's a very diplomatic answer, by design.
By design, I could tell.
By design. But it is genuine. It is genuine. I like all my characters for different reasons.
And speaking of, you are the voice of Panthro from Thundercats, and I know a lot of the younger generation. If you were born in '99 or 2000. You probably don't have a lot of experience, but for a lot of us, we grew up with Thundercats.
Yes.
So,
yes.
What is it like, man? Like being part of something that you grew up with? Yeah.
Well, I can't talk too much about Thundercats because we haven't got the release, but I will say, cool.
Okay.
Very cool.
Okay. And
but get back with me. Later on, when it comes out, I'll give you an exclusive, and we'll talk all about it, and I'll see if I can get some of my castmates in for you.
Cool. What is it like working on One Punch Man? I'm a big fan of that show too.
Oh well, I only did 2 episodes. But it was amazing because I saw, like I said, I saw all of it in Japanese first. I was like, how are they gonna make this interesting? You be something with One Punch, and I was just like. By like episode 2, I was binging. So, yeah, what it was like, it was just like, give this your everything. I was ready to pass out. I was like, let's go. If this character does not just, he's got to jump out of your freaking speakers. So the whole thing, I was just like, yo, let's go for blood. Let's make him let's make him cool. But yeah, I mean, that whole experience was amazing. Yeah, it's amazing. And then I think what was cooler about it was the announcement, because a lot of the times, like you'll do something and sometimes, they might change they might go a different direction. You might get a different, they might go a different way about it. I was originally supposed to be the voice of Yasuo, but from League of Legends, but they kind of just like went a different direction, which is fine. So it's just like after that, I never got attached to a caricature until after he was released, and then when Shar did that awesome press piece, and I still watch that. I was like, and they were talking about how they found the voice actor for it. I'm like, who are they talking about? That can't be me. And then they said my name. I was like, oh my god, it's there. Then I heard the clip, but yeah, that reveal was probably one of the most gratifying career highlights I ever could have got.
All right.
Yes.
And I also wanted to ask, man, I went through all my questions.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
I like to talk.
All right then.
Right.
No, we're gonna keep this going. So one of the things I did want to ask you, what are some projects that you currently have in the works that you can, because I know you have NDAs that you have to sign, but what are some things that you can talk about?
NDAs? I ain't got no NDAs. I'm not working. What are you talking about? I'm not working on nothing. You don't need no NDA to watch TV. What are you talking about? Nothing. But yeah, I mean, obviously, whatever the scuttlebutt may be on the interwebs, I am obviously not at liberty to talk about, and anything outside of that is probably not very interesting anyway. But I will be working on something cool.
Okay.
And if you want to know what said cool thing is, the best way to just figure that out is to stalk me on the Instagrams and all that good stuff.
Okay.
And it helps. It makes me look really cool. So the more you guys, kind of just bring in the masses and be like, oh, this guy's cool. The cooler I look. Let's work together and help me look cool, guys. I need this. Let's make me look cool.
Okay. And my last question is, will we ever get the chance to see you out here in Hawaii?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you will. And here's how you're going to do that. Remember the cool conversation that we had before earlier?
Yes, I do.
Do the same thing, but get with your homie, your guy, and be like, yo, Chris J needs to come out here. And then we'll chop it up, and we'll all be a big family. And I'll be like, yeah, we're gonna make it happen. So yes, in the short of things, yes. And my layover is in Hawaii too. I'm going to Japan in a couple of weeks, so yeah. But as far as like on a grand scale, that's up to y'all. I would love to come out. Get me and The Rock out there, man. Let's have a party. Let's do it, man. I definitely would love to do it. So thank you for having me. Any chance I get to come out there would be great. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I actually lied. I have one more question.
He's a liar. That's
See?
Right. I like that.
Did you have fun?
Did I have fun? Yes. Does aloha mean hello and goodbye?
Yes.
Whoa. Look at that. Yes. So that answers your question. Yes. I had an awesome time, and any time that I can talk about myself to anybody is a great opportunity. But honestly, man, you know what I'm saying? I really did have fun on the channel. So make sure y'all give him some love, subscribe, share this, because he's going to have Utada Hikaru. That's amazing. I'm going to tune in for that. Make sure Chris J said, what's up. Tell her I said what's up.
Hey, who knows? You may be on it.
Yeah, well, let me know. I'm down.
I mean, I'm having Ruben on next month if you want to hop on.
Yeah, come on, man. I am down with it. I'm down with it. Yeah, and you might want to reach out to what's a couple of guys. Have you had Matt Mercer?
No, I've tried to reach out to him.
He's a busy boy too, but he's a cool cat, man. If you can get him, he's a cool guy. JB Blanc is dope. Erica Lindbeck, she might be with it. She's amazing too. Like, she is fantastic. She's really cool. But yeah, there's a couple of cool cats that you can get. But this will be the #1 watched interview by far. I'm talking about hundreds of millions. We're going to break the internet, y'all.
You know, I agree, because
I put Sonic on it.
You know, the amazing thing is, like, my #1 listened to episode was with Richard Epcar, has already broken 130 million listens.
We're gonna shatter that
on iTunes. I was shocked. I looked at the iTunes analytics. I'm like, is this serious? Okay.
Richard, you my homie. Where you going down? I'm willing to bet his microphone on it. I'm gonna bet it. But I believe in us. I believe in us. I believe in Hawaii. I believe in y'all, man. I love you.
All right, man.
I love you. That's right.
Yeah, just throw him the shaka.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Boom. What's it called again?
The shaka.
The shaka. That means I love you, right?
Hang loose.
Hang loose.
Much love. Yeah.
Everybody, you see my Shaka Khan? I love y'all, man. For real. Hang loose.
And tell everyone where they can find you.
Everybody, y'all can find me on my name, which is Chris J. Alex. ChrisJaiAlex. Like Michael J. White, but Chris J. Alex. I stole it from Mike. Don't tell him that. I'm sure he's seen it up there. He knows I stole it. But yeah, Chris J. Alex. You can find me on everything.
Man, now I gotta ask, do you know him?
Huh? I've met him a couple times. Cool brother. You know what's funny? Have you ever seen Black Dynamite?
Yes.
Okay, so they had like, I think it's on the Nerdist still, but they had like these weird little vignettes that they were doing for Black Dynamite, but it was like in Japanese. I'm doing them. I'm the voice of those. So if you want a fun little Google Black Dynamite Nerdist Japanese. I am the Japanese Black Dynamite.
Wow.
Yes, it's super weird. It's super weird, but it was fun. I don't even think he knows that. But yes, I am the Japanese Black Dynamite. It was the hardest job I ever had to do. It was the hardest gig ever because it was all straight up Japanese, but it was fun. Yeah. But yeah, shout out to Mike. I mean, he's the OG, and he's definitely an inspiration, and he's definitely somebody who I looked up to and still continue to look up to, doing great things.
Awesome. So I guess that wraps up another episode of the Mikhail Kasanova Podcast, and I want to thank everyone for listening and watching, from around the world. Again, man, thank you. Just thank you for being on the show, man.
Thank you, everyone, and Arhana Moon's family. You are my family. I just did that. That's Lilo and Stitch. It was the greatest little movie I've ever seen from Disney. I like that. Outside Lion King, Beauty and the Beast. It was a fun one. All right, y'all.
But you guys will be able to catch this episode on iTunes, Google Play Music, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, TuneIn Radio, as well as you'll be able to catch it coming soon to iHeartRadio. And we also signed a contract recently with Sirius FM, so the podcast can't even say the name of my own podcast.
Sirius FM.
Yes. So the Mikhail Kasanova Podcast will be coming to Sirius FM starting next year, January. I'm excited about that. Every single Thursday you'll be getting a new episode. And the rate is going now, the fact that we're sitting on over 20 plus interviews, I think we might start doing 2 episodes a week, because Man, yeah, yeah. So I think we might be doing
out
that.
Here working, putting in that work, y'all support him.
Right?
Putting in that work.
Dude, I swear, this was supposed to be just... I've only been doing this for a year. This was just something I wanted to do for fun. I never thought it would get to where it is now. Like, man.
It's life-changing, man.
It is.
It's cool.
And it's an honor having people like you on, man.
It was an honor being interviewed with people like you, man. Seriously, man, thank you for having me, brother. I can't say that enough. Like, seriously.
All right. And with that being said, people, this is Mikhail Kasanova and Chris. We are signing out. Did you enjoy this episode of the Kasanova Podcast? Well, I hope you did. And if you did, please make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. And let us know what we can improve upon, what you liked, what you didn't like, and all that good stuff. And just make sure you always have a good time. That being said, this is your boy Mikhail Kasanova, Hawaii's favorite YouTuber. I am signing out, and I'll catch you on the next episode.